Hi, my name's Aaron and welcome to this guitar lesson for Let It Be by the Beatles. We're going to learn to strum our way through all of the chords in this song. It uses mostly standard open chords, but there is an F bar chord in there, and there's also a tricky descending sequence of chords. If you can't actually do that, I will provide a slightly easier alternative. The original song tempo is 72 beats per minute. We're going to be working to a metronome at 60 beats per minute in the examples when I give them to you. So we're going to start by learning the individual chord shapes. Without further ado, let's get zoomed in. Before we begin, I just wanted to offer you a freebie. It's called the Beginner Guitar Survival Kit. And even if you're not a total beginner, it's still got some really helpful tips about how to practice and the kind of things you might want to buy to make your guitar journey a little bit easier. So go ahead, check that out in the link in the description. And as you follow along with this video, if you want chords and lyrics and strumming patterns and all that kind of stuff, as well as timestamps that reference the original song so you know where you are, you can find them over on my website. There's a link in the description to that as well. Let's get started by learning all of the individual chord shapes which are in this song. So the first chord and the key of the song is a C major chord, okay? Your first finger to the first of the B, your second finger to the second of the D, your third finger to the third of the A. And you're going to strum all of the strings except the low E. Do not strum the low E. Strum 5 strings there. The next chord you need to know is a G major chord. So your first finger comes to the first of the A string. Your second finger comes to the second of the low E. Your third finger comes to the third of the B. And your pinky comes to the third of the high E string. Squeezing them both in there on the thinnest strings. And you strum all 6 strings for that G chord. The next chord is an A minor. So the first finger is on the first of the A. The second finger is on the second of the D string. And the third finger is on the second of the G string. And for this chord, you strum 5 strings again, the same as the C chord. Don't strum the low E. And then we get to an F chord. So this is the F bar chord, where you bar with your first finger across the first fret. Very, very difficult if you've not done this before, but there will be easier alternatives in just a second. The second finger comes to the second of the G. The third finger comes to the third of the A. And the pinky comes to the third of the D. And for that F bar chord, you strum all 6 strings. Now, as a much easier alternative to this, we can do like a standard F open chord. We do have to bar with the first finger, okay, on the high E and the B string. The second finger comes to the second of the G string, and the third finger comes to the third fret of the D. And you strum 4 strings. And if that version of F is still too hard, then just don't do the bar with the first finger. Just lift onto the tip of the finger on the B string and strum only the D, G and B strings for like a 3-note version of an F chord there, which I think should be doable for most people, even if they're just starting out. Alrighty, so those are the chords that are used through the bulk of the song, and then there's a few extra chords used in the descending sequence. So we need to know a C with an E in the bass. So we can just do a standard C major chord for this, but let the E bass note ring this time and strum all 6 strings. So we get this. It might also be handy to know this version, like a 4-string version. So when you get to the descending section later on, you'll see what I mean. It might be easier to get to this chord, okay? So whichever one you feel more comfortable with for now. Okay, and then the next chord we need to know is a D minor chord. So our first finger comes to the first of the high E, our second comes to the second of the G, and our third comes to the third of the B string. If that third finger won't squeeze in, you can always use the pinky instead, okay? And you're going to strum 4 strings for this chord, the thinnest 4 strings. Then we need to know B flat chord, okay? And there aren't a lot of easy ways to do this, but the first way you can do a B flat is like this with a bar. bar the first fret, and then the second, third and fourth fingers all go on the third fret of the D, G and B strings consecutively. You can see that? Now note these three fingers here. If you're unable to get this bar version, what you can do, instead of using these three fingers, you can just use the first finger on those three strings. And that'll be a much easier version of a B flat that you can use in this song as an alternative. And then the final chord we're going to need to know is an F with an A in the bass, okay, which sounds like this. So if you think back to the easier versions of the Fs we did a second ago, okay, you can take your F major chord with your bar on the first fret, the high E and the B strings, and then your second finger on the second of the G, third on the third of the D, but then you want to include the A string and only strum 5 strings, don't strum the low E. And if you're finding that bar difficult, again, you can just come up onto the tip and just use 4 strings instead of 5. So you wouldn't play the low E or the high E in this case. That is the chords. Let's get on to the strumming and the structure of the song. So we are, of course, going to kick off with that iconic piano intro, and we're going to try and emulate the way the piano sounds on the guitar, of course. And the way we do that is by navigating correctly with our strumming hand. So of course we've got but you can hear there's quite a bam bum bam bum bam bum bam bum kind of effect, and the way we're doing that is, I'm going to exemplify that to you with the C major chord. We strum the lighter strings of the C major chord followed by the bass note. And we just keep alternating light strings, bass note, light strings, bass note, light strings, bass note. So very, very slowly. If I was to just stay on that C major chord. So that might be something you want to do. You might just want to hang about on this single chord and just practice the difference in strumming. Light strings, bass note, light strings, bass note, light strings, bass note. You know, on the piano, that's, you know, right hand, left hand kind of thing. You know, light notes, bass notes, light notes, bass notes. But on the guitar, we have to do it slightly differently. Okay, and of course, we're going to change to a G chord, which is the next chord, but the bass note also changes because the bass note of the G chord is now on the low E string. Okay, so we do it twice on each chord. C, G, A minor, and again, when we change to A minor, the bass note's back on the A string, and then F. Now the bass note is back on the low E, and then C, G, and then we've got that descending sequence. Now, changing between those chords in that descending sequence can be very tricky at first. So I'll show you the harder way to do it, and then I'll show you a much easier way to get through that section. So it's going to be F, C with an E in the bass. So it's a C chord, but you let the E bass note, let the low E string ring out. Then we go to a D minor chord, and then we come back to C. But if that is all but impossible, you can do this instead. Bring the third finger of the fretting hand to the third fret of the D string, play fret 3 with your pick, and then bring the second finger down to the second fret, and then play the open D string, and then play the C chord. So you end up with. So I'm going to exemplify the intro to you now at 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we get to the verse, which comes in at 12 seconds. And all of that goes round another 2 times for the verse. All you got to do is just repeat everything you just did, and that'll get you through the verse. However, at the end of the verse, we do have one extra chord, which I didn't mention at the start, honestly, but you will find it on the website, which is G with a B in the bass. Okay, so I'm going to try and sing it just to exemplify that moving bass note. So it'd be, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So once I've done the C chord, I'm moving my second finger onto the second fret of the A string and just playing 4 strings. That gives me a G with a B in the bass, and that transitions us nicely into the chorus at 36 seconds. The first chorus, okay? We have an A minor chord to begin with, but our strumming pattern is going to change in the chorus, okay? So we're going to go down, 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 up, 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 descending sequence. And the chords in order are A minor, followed by G, followed by F, and then C, and then we stay on C, and then G, and then it's our descending sequence. F, C over E, D minor, C. So I'm going to exemplify chorus 1 to you now at 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. And that is the whole of chorus 1. Then, of course, we get to verse 2, which comes in at 51 seconds, and verse 2 is smack bang identical to verse 1. Then we get to chorus 2 at 1 minute 16 seconds, and chorus 2 is the same as chorus 1, but it goes round 2 times, so nice and easy there. Then we get to the piano and keyboard breakdown at 1 minute 44 seconds, and the first half of this is actually the same as the descending sequence that we've seen before. So the first half, F, C over E, D minor, C. So once again, you can just play the single notes for that little bit, all right? But then it does change again, okay? So I'll show you the chords and then I'll show you a slightly simpler way to play that whole sequence. So after we've done our descending sequence and we get back to the C chord, we then go to B flat, okay? Then we do our F with an A in the bass. And we do them really quickly. Ba, ba. So some quite quick changes. And then we do G, F, and C. So let me exemplify that first. And if that's really, really difficult, I'll show you how to do it with just bass notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, of course, to do it like the song, you just do that twice in a row, because once is with the piano, the second part is with the keyboard, with the organ sound. Okay. So in order to play that with just bass notes, use your third finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the D string with the 2nd finger, open D string, and then 3rd fret of the A string. And then on the A string, you're going to go 1st fret open, 1st fret with the 1st finger, and then open. And then at this point, you can just go G, F, C, in whichever variation you want. If you're using this F, then fine, you can use that F instead. So I'll exemplify that bass note movement 60 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. When we get to the end of that breakdown, we do of course come across the guitar solo at 1 minute 57 seconds into the song. Now the guitar solo has identical chords to the intro, but you go around the whole sequence twice. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the strumming pattern from the verse, because the song is built up a little bit by this point. We want to sort of maintain the interest and kind of, we want it to feel right, you know. So the chords, once again, we've got C, G, A minor, F, and then C, G, and then our descending sequence. So I'll exemplify all of the chords behind the solo. And by the way, if you do want a transcription of this solo, if you are the sort of person who wants to learn that, because I know people who follow this channel don't necessarily want to, then please let me know. Or if there's any other Beatles songs that you want transcribing so that you can learn them, then please let me know in the comments section. I want to hear from you guys how I can make this channel better. Right, here we go. So 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 and again. Down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. And then, of course, after the guitar solo, we get another chorus at 2 minutes 25. Now, this chorus is exactly the same as chorus 1, meaning it is the shorter chorus. But everything else is exactly the same, strumming pattern, etc. And then we get to verse 3 at 2 minutes 40 seconds. Now, you could play verse 3 identically to the other verses, but I'd be tempted to use that strumming pattern that we just used in the solo, okay? I would probably just use that strumming pattern. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, and so on and so forth. Because, again, the song's built up and changed a little bit. And then after that verse, we get chorus 4 at 3 minutes 7 seconds. And chorus 4, the whole sequence goes round 3 times. So if you think of the choruses in this song, your first chorus kind of has 1 time round the sequence. Your second chorus has twice round the sequence. The third chorus is once round the sequence, and the fourth chorus is 3 times round. So very Beatlesy in the sense that they're just messing around with the structure, which I think, you know, adds to the interest of the song. So once you've done this last chorus, you are going to do one final descending section again. So you just got to look at the chords of the keyboard and piano breakdown section and just do those once more. So F, C over E, D minor, C, B flat, F over A, G, F, C. Or just do it the simple way if you want to. And that is how we play Let It Be by the Beatles on acoustic guitar. So I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial and you take something away from that. If there are any other Beatles songs that you want transcribing, like I say, stick a comment in the comment section. It'd be really good to hear from people out there who are using these videos, because I see that people are watching them and I see views and watch time, but I don't necessarily hear anything from you. So it'd be nice to connect. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, because that really helps me out, and make sure this video is shown to other people who can benefit from it. If you thought it was any good. If you thought it was rubbish, then whatever. I can't do much about that. I'll just have to get better. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and see you soon. Bye.